Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So we're in the middle of an international break, so it's been about a week since I've done a video, but it's now time to start focusing on game week 4 and what I think I'm going to do for the next game week. In this video, I'll quickly go over how I got on in game week 3, show you who's potentially on the chopping block for game week 4, who's in the shortlist, and what my transfer plans could potentially be. With 2 free transfers, I could potentially -4 to set myself up for the game weeks coming up, but let's get into it. So for game week 3, I had Sanchez in goal and he kept a clean sheet against Fulham, so he got 6 points, and Dubravka was on the bench with 2 points. Into defence, I had Porro, Agbadu and Williams in the starting 11, with Anderson and Steve on the bench. Pedro Porro played 70 minutes in a 1-0 defeat against Bournemouth. He got DEFCON points, so he got extra 2 points for that, so he got up to 4 points. But he did get subbed off after 70th minutes, which isn't the greatest. Then we've got Agbadu, who lost 3-2 against Everton, so they conceded another 3 goals. And then we've got Williams and Nottingham Forest lost 3-0 against West Ham, which was very surprising and very disappointing, to be honest. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's got a Nottingham Forest player that's let them down in defence. There's a lot of players like Milenkovic and Morello that we all thought would get DEFCON points, and they're not getting them as well. So yeah, the clean sheets aren't coming at Nottingham Forest at the moment, so they are letting us all down. And then we've got Anderson, sub number 1 on my bench, that got 3 points. He got 2 DEFCON points when the 2-0 defeat against Chelsea. If he was coming onto the pitch, he would have got me extra points, but I don't think I would have picked him. Him away against Chelsea wasn't the best of fixtures. I did say in my last video before deadline that I did think Anderson would get DEFCON points, so he did actually get that, but I don't think I would have picked him ahead of the other ones, even in hindsight. Badu was at home against Everton, so I thought he would actually keep a clean sheet. And then the same for Williams, who was at home against West Ham, and I did expect him to keep a clean sheet. They conceded 3 goals against West Ham at home, which was very disappointing. So into midfield, and I did make that transfer that I was talking about before deadline. I sold Cole Palmer and I got Sarr. And Sarr kept up his really good form against Aston Villa and he got himself a goal in a 3-0 win. So he got 7 points. And then we've got Rinderson for the second game in a row. He's not done that much, and City haven't done that much. They've lost 2 games in a row. They lost against Tottenham in game week 2, and then they lost in game week 3 against Brighton. Then we'll go on to Rodgers, and Aston Villa haven't been good all season. 2 points again, so he's not done well in all 3 game weeks. So I am thinking about potentially selling him. Then we've got Mohamed Salah, they won 1-0 against Arsenal. He got a clean sheet, so he got 3 points. And then we've got Bruno Fernandes that got 10 points against Burnley. He got 17 DEFCON points, so he got the extra 2 points for that. He got a yellow card, so he got a -point for that. And then in the last minute, Man United got a penalty. He took it and he scored it, so he got up to 10 points. And with that goal that he scored in the last few minutes, he secured himself 2 bonus points. Then into the forwards, and João Pedro scored another goal. It was a corner and he scored a header. And Chelsea actually got a penalty and João Pedro was on the pitch and he didn't actually take it. Enzo Fernandez took it with Cole Palmer not even in the side. So that was a bit surprising, but I do think João Pedro just let him take that penalty just because he was having a bit of a bad game. And João Pedro already scored, so he was a bit relaxed about actually taking it. But it will be interesting to see what happens in the next few game weeks. If Cole Palmer isn't fit and Chelsea get a penalty, does Enzo Fernandez take it or does João Pedro take it? We will see. I do think that João Pedro will take the next one, but I don't think he's locked into being second penalty taker. I think Enzo Fernandez at times will take them. And then lastly, we've got Watkins, and Aston Villa have been disappointed all season. I have been thinking about potentially selling him in game week 4 because I have been getting a bit sick of actually keeping him. But the fixtures are pretty good, and I'm thinking maybe just holding on to him. So I'm a bit torn about which one to do. So as you can see, I got 47 points, but I captained Salah, so it got me up to 50 points. In hindsight, I probably should have just gone with the safer option and gone Bruno Fernandes and got them 20 points from Bruno Fernandes. So I actually lost 7 points on that captaincy choice because I got 16 points from them both, but I could have potentially got 23, so that's a 7 points loss. If United didn't get that penalty, I probably wouldn't have been any worse off. I probably would have got the same amount of points. I don't think he would have got the bonus points. I don't think he would have got the 5 points for the goal, and I think we would have been on the same points. But yeah, if Mo Salah didn't get the goal and assist in the last 2 game weeks in the last minutes, then I wouldn't have got the points from him. So it swings in roundabouts and I didn't get the luck of the draw this time. So me going against the grain hasn't worked out and I've lost 7 points, but it isn't the end of the world and it is only game week 3. It just makes it worse that it's an international break just after it, so I've had more time to think about this decision, but we'll move on from it. As you can see, with a poorly picked captain and me only getting 50 points, I still actually got a green arrow and I've gone up 300k. So I've gone up to 3.5 million. It isn't the greatest, but I will move on from it. So now we've gone over game week 3 and I've gone over all the things that I got wrong. Let's go for game week 4 and hopefully I start getting things right. I rubbed one of the transfers in game week 3 because I wasn't too sure what would happen in the transfer window, who would go, who would stay. And I wasn't too sure what my side would look like after the international break. If I used my transfer last game week and I was still unhappy with my side now, I probably would be looking at potentially using my wildcard and getting rid of a lot of these players. But with 2 free transfers, I'm thinking potentially just use the transfers, maybe -4 and use 3 transfers and get a side that I'm probably happy with. A bit frustrating that the transfer that I made in game week 3 and Cole Palmer to Sarr, and now he's an injured out, so he could be out for game week 4. Then, as I've said for the game week 1 and 2, I've not been impressed with Aston Villa, so Rodgers and Watkins haven't been really impressing me that much there on the chopping block. Then we've got Williams and Nottingham Forest, and they haven't started the season off that well, and they've got Arsenal this game week. As I said in my deadline video last week, I was potentially going to sell Williams, but when he lost 3-0 against West Ham, I do think he could potentially be sold this game week. Then we've got Mark Gu on the bench. Liam Delap got injured against Fulham, so Mark Gu got recalled from Sunderland and he's now probably the backup striker. But that depends on what the injury update is for Liam Delap and Cole Palmer. If them two are out for a few weeks, then yeah, Mark Gu might actually be a really good option at 4.4. He might actually get some minutes and he might actually start scoring some goals at Chelsea. So 4.4, he is something that I'm potentially going to sell, but at 4.4 million, if he does start getting minutes, he could be a really good option to be starting up front for a side like Chelsea at 4.4 million in FPL. It could be a real game changer. So here's my updated exit rankings, and as you can see, Cole Palmer's been updated by Sarr. He's the one that's got an injury doubt this time, and he's the most at risk to be sold. I'm going to hold off on selling him until I get an injury update on him. If he's only out for one game week, I'll probably hold on to him. If he's out for more than one game week, then I'll probably sell him. Bruno Fernandes's performance against Burnley jumped him back up into monitor, and Nottingham Forest's 3-0 loss against West Ham made Williams jump into me at risk. I've still got Rodgers and Watkins at risk. Honestly, they're just getting saved because of the fixtures that are coming up for them. If there wasn't like that, then they'd be easily be sold. But they can't keep getting saved by fixtures, and if they don't do well in game week 4, I do think I will actually sell them in game week 5. So here's my updated shortlist, and as you can see in defence, I've got Lacroix in there instead of Richards. I think he's probably the better defender to get, just because he keeps getting DEFCON points and they keep ticking over to getting really good points over the season, and he is a decent threat in the air, so set piece wise, he could actually get a goal or an assist. Then into midfield, we've got 3 new players into my shortlist, and we've got Clive at 7 million. He came off the bench again in game week 3, but with this 2-week international break, I think he will be pushing for a start in game week 4 and moving forward, so I think he could be a really good option at 7 million. And then we've got Cole Palmer that's actually jumped back onto my list. I'm not too sure about actually buying him. But if he's back fit for game week 4, then I could actually just move back over to him. And then we've got King that caught my eye in game week 3. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I watched Chelsea vs Fulham and he scored that goal that got disallowed. I actually thought he had a really good game. And at 4.5 million, if he keeps starting, he could be a really good option because he could actually get goals and assists, but he could actually enable you to buy somebody else in your squad. In game week 3, I was potentially looking at buying Gakpo, and I'm glad I didn't buy him. Just because after deadline we had the transfer window closing and Liverpool actually bought Isaac for 130 million, so I don't know what's going to happen with him in minutes. Because I don't think they're just going to drop Ekatike, so there is a selection dilemma at Liverpool. I think Salah's locked in, I think Wirtz is locked in, and then I think Isaac's locked in, but I don't think he's locked in just yet. I think he'll have to wait and get his fitness back. But I think by game week 7-8, I think Isaac will be starting all the time. And that's why Ekatike and Gakpo have got a red arrow on my shortlist, because I don't know by game week 6-7 they'll be starting all the time, and I don't really want to buy them in to have that doubt. If you're already on Gakpo or Ekatike, I'd hold on to them, especially because they've got Burnley and Everton in the next 2 game weeks, so I think they'll do well. And I would hold on until I know they've been benched and I know that they're actually going to be that benching player all the time, because right now we don't actually know who's going to actually start for them, so they could actually keep playing. And the thing with Liverpool, the subs that actually come on could actually always get goals and assists, so they actually could come off the bench and actually get some good points. And as the Liverpool have shown in the last 3 game weeks, they do look like they're going to score in the last few minutes. So yeah, they could actually get some points off the bench. So I wouldn't want to just sell them straight away. And the last player new to my shortlist is Mateta. I do like Mateta as an FPL asset, but I am a little bit worried because they've sold Eze and Sarr could potentially be out. So I am a little bit worried who will be setting up the chances for him. They have signed some new players, but they're new to the league, so I'm not too sure how they'll get on. So until then, I'm just going to wait and see. So that does potentially put me off Mateta, but if Sarr's fit, then Mateta could actually be one that I sign. So as of right now, these are the transfer options that I could potentially be doing. So Williams could actually be sold for Lacroix or Munoz. I'm not too sure which Crystal Palace player I want to buy if I do sell Williams. Let me know in the comment section which Crystal Palace defender would you buy out of them two. I think Lacroix gets the DEFCON points, but I think Munoz is more likely to get the goals and assists, so which one would you go for? Do you go for the attacking data or do you go for the defensive data? And then we've got option number 2, and if Sarr is injured for a couple of weeks, I do think I'll sell Sarr and get Semenyo. I was close to getting Semenyo last game week, so I could put things right and actually get in this game week. Then option number 3 is to upgrade Gui. I've got 4 million in the bank after selling Cole Palmer for Sarr in game week 3, so I could upgrade Gui to Richarlison or Mateta. I do think if I get a Crystal Palace defender in Mateta, then I am locking myself into a free hit game week 6. I am a little bit worried about buying Richarlison because I think when Solanke's fit, I think he'll start getting some minutes, and I think Richarlison's minutes will start dropping. Even if that's 30 minutes off the bench, that's 30 minutes that Richarlison's not getting at the end of the games. And a lot of goals do happen at the back end of games, and if he's not on the pitch, he's not actually going to get the goals and assists. So I mean, I'm a little bit uncertain about buying Richarlison. So here's how my side's looking for Game Week 4 if Sarr is injured. I will actually sell him for Semenyo, I think. So we'd have 3.1 million in the bank so I could upgrade Gui and get Mateta. I'd only have enough money if there isn't any price rises or falls in them players that I'm actually thinking about buying or selling. And I do really want to hold off on transfers until I know the update on Sarr. And then do a -4 and sell Williams and get Lacroix. Because Crystal Palace are at home against Sunderland, so I do think they're going to keep a clean sheet and DEFCON points potentially. And I'm really not happy about starting Williams or Steve or Agbadu this game week because they've all got really hard fixtures. And in Game Week 5, Crystal Palace have got West Ham, so I do think they could potentially get a clean sheet there. So that -4 could potentially be paid off in the first 2 game weeks, and then I could be moving forward looking at a better side. The other option is to sell Gui for Richarlison and then Williams up to Minoz. The thing that's putting me off selling Williams is in Game Weeks 5 and 6, he's got Burnley and Sunderland, so I don't really want to sell him -4 and actually miss out and get them points in Game Week 5 and 6 potentially. Probably not. And then lastly, we've got captaincy, and I think it's Salah that's going to get the armband this week. And after what happened in Game Week 3 where I went against the grain and it didn't work out, I don't think I'll do that again, so Salah will be the captain this game week. So there we have it for Game Week 4 transfer plans. Let me know in the comment section, do you think I'm getting any of these right or wrong? Do you think it's a wise move, -4, to get a better defender for Game Week 3? My aim on this video is to get 20 likes, so if you like this video, hit the like button. And my target is to get 250 subscribers before Game Week 4, so if you have liked this video, hit subscribe, it will help the channel out massively. Get in the comment section and let me know if you've got any dilemmas and I'll try and help you out before deadline. Anyway, I'm signing off and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.